I'm Jenny of Sincerely Jen Patterns, and today we're going to be cutting out the Harmonica Hobo bag. I would like to go over with you the different pieces and where they are at on the bag. So exterior fabric, we have the exterior main panels, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have exterior top panels, which are the 2 top panels on front and back. From the contrast, we have a bottom panel. We have 4 strap connectors, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 1 shoulder strap. We have the adjustable crossbody strap. We have a zipper tab, which is on the end of the zipper. We have 1 slip pocket accent, which is the piece along the top of the divided slip pocket inside. And then we have a zipper overlay. From the lining, we have 2 lining main, which are the main panels down here in the interior. We have 2 lining top, which is just what it says, the top. We have 2 interior zipper pockets, which are inside the zipper. We have 2 interior slip pocket panels, which are on that side. And then zipper panels. Exterior pocket A and B are inside the exterior zipper pocket. And then we have a lining bottom panel, which is in the bottom. And then there's a bottom panel stabilizer, which is Decovil heavy, and it is adhered to the exterior. This bag doesn't use any interfacing besides that Decovil heavy because it's made to be slouchy. If you wanted it to be structured, you can use different interfacing or less slouchy materials. If you don't already follow my channel, go ahead and hit the follow button, give this video a thumbs up, and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. All right, so we'll go ahead and cut everything. I like to print out page 2 of the pattern, which has the full cut list on it, so that I can check each item off as I cut it out. I've got all of my pattern pieces printed, and I don't print the instructions, but I pull them up on my iPad while I'm sewing. If you want to print them all, that's fine. Also, my pattern pieces are cut on the fold if they are something that can be cut on the fold. So, such as this is the bottom panel, there's fold here. If you want full pattern pieces, print out 2 sets of those pieces that are marked fold and just tape them together along the fold lines. One will be backwards, one will be right way, and then you have full pattern pieces. That way it's an option for people who do want that, and the people who don't want that don't have to do that. So first we're going to take a ruler and measure the 1-inch square on each of the pattern piece pages. You want to make sure that each one of them measures 1 inch. If your printing was off and not at 100%, then each page could scale differently based on how the pattern pieces are laid out on the page. So it's important to check every single one. Okay, once those are checked, we'll go ahead and just cut the pattern pieces out first. I'm probably going to speed through most of this, but you can see, I guess, kind of how I do it. I'll cut the straight pieces with a rotary cutter, and I have a separate rotary cutter that I use for cutting paper than the one that I use for cutting fabric. So that way I'm not dulling my blade. But I'll use a ruler for the straight pieces, and then I'll use scissors for anything that's not straight or anything that I can't cut with the rotary cutter. So we'll just go ahead and cut all of these out, and I'm going to speed the video up now. Okay, once we have all of the pieces cut out, we want to tape together any that have lines. So I will usually use some sort of washi tape for this just because I have it. I mean, Scotch tape is fine, whatever you want. So like these both have the letter A on them. And the way that I will do this, I'm going to flip the bigger piece over and put my line of tape along the edge of it on the back. Pull it up so you see the tape is sticking off the bottom. And then I take the smaller piece, line up the little shape that the letters are in, and then stick that down to the tape. And then I'll wrap the edges around. And then you can put a second piece of tape along the top too if you want. So for this, we need to tape together the exterior main, the lining main, and the zipper overlay, which was letter C, and it was in the center spot that I cut out already. I'm going to make sure that this is like laying nice and flat. I probably should have taped it together and then cut the center out. It's fine. Also, if you have a Silhouette, Cricut, Brothers Scan and Cut, whatever kind of cutting machine, there is an SVG file included that you can use your cutting machine to cut out the overlay. I know that can be easier. All right. I'm just going to trim off the excess tape from the center. All right, and then we can start cutting. So, oh, I do also include with the pattern pieces. So if you don't print out page 2, the additional pieces that need to be measured out and cut are listed on this. I don't include pattern pieces for most of the rectangle pieces because it's honestly easier just to cut them with a ruler. So we're gonna go down the list. We'll start with the exterior fabric, which you want, for exterior, you want a nice slouchy vinyl. If you want your bag to be slouchy, which is how I intended it, you don't have to do that. It can be structured. So I chose the glazed clay vinyl from Mormino because it has like a real, see how it's drapey? It's not stiff at all. So this is eggplant. Yes. So we're going to cut the exterior pieces. So exterior main, we're going to cut 2 of these with the pattern piece right side up and then flip the pattern piece upside down so the text is facing down, and then cut out 2 that are mirrored. That's what it means by mirrored. So I'm going to lay these out on my vinyl, whichever way I can cut the most. I'm going to do it this direction. And I think since the vinyl is slippery, it'll be easier to lay this on the wrong side and cut because the pattern piece isn't going to slide around. So I'm just going to hold this down and then cut around it with my rotary cutter. If you don't wish to use vinyl, you don't have to. If you use a cotton woven, then I would interface it with something like Pixie Fuse Premium from Royal Pixie Custom Fabrics. You want it to be a woven interfacing, something that will still allow the bag to have that drape. because we do want it to be slouchy. So if you choose an interfacing that's thicker than that, then your bag is going to be more structured. But the exterior, the main exterior, can absolutely be replaced with a woven. The only piece really that you can't cut out of woven is the zipper overlay that you have on the lining. So, all right, and I am the world's slowest cutter. I may speed this up. Or do we like to watch cutting in real time? And I like to turn, it's hard for me to cut, I guess, like this way. So I like to turn the pattern piece when I can, so that I'm just cutting it along the right side. It's easier for me. Okay, so we've got 2 of them cut with the pattern piece facing up. Now we're going to cut 2 more with the pattern piece having the writing side down. Can line that up right there, and I don't have to cut that side. If you're using a rotary cutter, just make sure you're being careful. Don't cut yourself. They are very sharp. You can also trace the pattern pieces onto the wrong side of the vinyl and then just cut them out with scissors. You don't have to use a rotary cutter. I find this to be like the fastest way, and I'm still slow, but all right, one more. Okay. So now we'll cut out 2 exterior tops also out of the main exterior fabric. Lauren Mormino is actually testing this bag, and she did one that by the time you watch this, you may see it, that's color blocked. So I love that idea for this bag. This is a great bag to do color blocking on. So if that's something you're interested in. Okay, exterior top. So this is a cut on fold pattern piece. I don't like to cut my vinyl on the fold. I prefer half pattern pieces, I guess, unless I have templates. So what I'm going to do here, okay, I'm just going to trace it, which also you can kind of cut around the 1/2, flip it over, cut the other half to use the rotary cutter still. But I'm going to trace these ones, and I'm just using like a regular old ballpoint pen, nothing fancy. All right, once I have those all traced, I will use different scissors to cut these out, not the ones that I just used to cut out the pattern pieces. I like my Kai scissors for fabric cutting. My paper cutting scissors are a pair of Fiskars that I've had for quite a while, but they work great for paper. So I'm kind of cutting like just inside the lines that I drew, since I don't want my pieces to be too big. And technically the line that I marked is just to the outside of the pattern piece. And then this way I also have the centers marked already too. Now if I was cutting out waterproof canvas, like a woven fabric, quilting cotton, I will actually cut that on the fold. Just with vinyl, I don't, because it doesn't normally, I feel like the piece ends up a little bit bigger, or it's less exact. All right, so that's everything from exterior. So for the exterior contrast, you don't need that vinyl to be slouchy. I am going to use, though, the charcoal glazed clay vinyl from Mormino, just because I like the color of this charcoal with the purple color. But you can use any vinyl for this. So because the crossbody strap panels are so long, I'm going to cut those out first. And I have you cut two that are 30 inches long. And then we're going to sew them together, just so that way if you don't have a piece of vinyl that is long enough to be a crossbody strap, then it's not a concern, because you can just cut two and sew them together. So 4 inches wide. And how long is this ruler? 24. Okay, so I don't want to cut it that short, but .30 inches is the measurement given in the pattern. So I'm just going to cut the 24 and then kind of slide this down to cut 6 more inches. Or you could line up 2 rulers at one time. But it's really not, it doesn't have to be that technical, as long as the whole thing is the same width. All right, and then we'll cut one more, same size. Okay, we've got one shoulder strap 4 inches long also, or 4 inches wide by 18 inches long. I'm going to cut this 19 so I can cut off the selvage part at the end. If you want your shoulder strap to be a little bit longer, that's fine. Maybe you want to go 20. That's the beauty of sewing, is that we can make things the right size for us. So the length of straps in a pattern, probably any pattern, is more of a suggestion than a set fast. Set fast, is that the right term? Steadfast? Whatever. You don't have to stick with what's in the pattern for your strap lengths. If you need it longer or if you need it shorter, change it. You're making the bag. 4 strap connectors. I'm going to real quick trim off this selvage end so it's not on the end of everything. Okay, these are hold on. Okay, let's make our slip pocket accent, which is 15.5 inches long by 1 inch. Let's trace our zipper overlay. Let me get my chalk pencil. All right, hopefully this pencil is like a light pink color. So hopefully it's going to show up decently on the kind of dark gray / black color. Yeah, that'll do. I have like one tiny piece of lead in here that's wanting to come out. All right, and then the inside. All right, I felt like it wasn't showing up, but it is. Patience is something that I lack. Okay, definitely could have traced that a little better probably, but it'll be okay. So I'm going to hopefully not regret like freehand using my rotary cutter on this for parts of it. Like the end of the rectangle, I'll have to get that with scissors. The curved edges at the ends of the outside edge, I'll have to get that with my scissors. Maybe not. be worse. All right, and then I'll kind of cut into the corner at the end of the rectangle and then cut across the edge. Or the end, whatever. And then on the other end, same thing. All right, overall, looks okay. If you need to trim up the curves or anything from the right side, you can do that now. Okay. So now we need a bottom panel and 4 strap connectors. So this ruler is only 8 inches long. That's not long enough for my strap connectors. This one's a little bit excessive, but it'll be okay. And the bottom panel has a pattern piece, or you can use the measurements given to cut it if you want. Okay, 4 strap connectors. We need a zipper tab. And that is it. All right. All right, I know you can't see it, but I have my chair sitting over there to put everything on to get it out of my way. Okay, now for the lining fabric, we need 2 lining main. This is waterproof canvas light from Mormino. And I think this is perfect for the lining because it still lets it be slouchy without having to interface. So I really don't like interfacing. I mean, I like things to be interfaced. I don't like cutting extra pieces and then ironing it on if I don't have to. So this is waterproof without having such a thick plastic backing. So lining main, this is cut on fold. It's not mirrored like the exterior. And I want my stripes to be horizontal, I think. Do you want horizontal stripes or vertical? I might like vertical stripes. Or maybe we'll do a little bit of both. All right, so I'm just going to make sure that this is folded straight along a stripe if I'm making them vertical. Well, I guess either way I'd make sure it was straight because it's stripes. Can you hear the rooster? All right, when I cut things on the fold, I do like to use some clips to hold it in place nicely. All right, I'm going to cut now the lining top that will go directly above that so that I can make sure that the stripes are going to line up. Although you won't be able to tell. That's okay. Because there's the zipper panel in between the two. All right, and finally, the other lining top. Okay, we've got 2 interior zipper pockets. I'm going to trim off this part. Let's see, what else? 2 interior slip pockets, which we will make All right, also all of the rulers that I'm using today are from Mormy Now. So I guess other places may have the same type of ruler. Not the same ones because she designed these. I don't know if other places have the same, like so many sizes. Put it that way. I cut that wrong. Did I? Yes. All right, and then we need to cut that out. We need 1 bottom panel. We need one exterior pocket A and one exterior pocket B. So we have exterior pocket A has a pattern piece. Exterior pocket B is the same without this cutout. So I'm going to cut 2 exterior pocket Bs. Dang it. Okay, and then with one of these, I'm going to fold it in half and place the exterior pocket A panel on top. And then I'm going to cut out this little part here. Okay. So we've got those, and then we need 4 zipper panels. All right. Last thing is 1 bottom panel stabilizer, which we want to cut out of Decoville Heavy or Peltex or something similar, a firm stabilizer. Decoville Heavy is my go-to, but use whatever is your favorite. And measurements are given for this piece, or you can print an extra bottom panel and there are dashed lines where you can cut around the dashed lines and use that as the pattern piece for your bottom piece stabilizer. All right, so that's it for cutting. Thanks for watching. Bye.